today. Today I am doing a live. It's the first time I ever did a live with you guys. So if no one sees this till later, it is cool. But this is the first time I ever did it. So let's get into it. It is The Princess and the Pea. This is a little classics. All right, guys. Once upon a time, there was a very handsome prince, both strong and kind. He was every princess' dream come true. When the prince grew up, he decided it was time to find a princess to be his wife. With high hopes for the adventure that lay before him, the prince said goodbye to the king and queen and set off to travel the world in search of his princess. The first princess he met was Princess Penelope. Penelope had glamorous red hair and porcelain skin like a doll. Did you want to play tennis or go horseback riding? Let's play tennis, she declared, without giving the prince a chance to answer. Unfortunately for the prince, the rest of their visit was quite the same. Penelope was only interested in herself. It wasn't long before he continued on his way. Next, he met Princess Maud. She was kind enough to ask the prince how he was doing, but it wasn't long before they ran out of things to talk about. Not only did Maud not say much, but she didn't do much either. The prince quickly grew bored and bid Maud goodbye. Goodbye, Maud. When the prince met Princess Lobelia. Okay, Lobelia. We're going to go with that, guys. He thought that surely she was the princess for him. But as they ate lunch together, Lobelia turned out to be rather unpleasant. When she burned her tongue on some hot soup, she screamed wildly and blamed it on the cook. The prince thought that was rude and silly, since anyone with good sense knows to wait for their soup to cool. Or you could just blow on it. But of course. And so the princess grew tired of meeting princesses. There was something not quite right about each one he met. Sad and discouraged, he decided to put an end to his search and headed back home. Oh, Prince, don't give up that quick. One evening, after the prince had been home for some time, a terrible storm broke out. It thundered louder than ever, and lightning flashed through a threatening sky. Rain poured down in great torrents. It was the worst storm the kingdom had witnessed in ages, and it was certainly not a night to be out and about. Suddenly, when the storm seemed at its worst, with rain hammering loudly against windows and rooftops, there was a knock at the castle door. Who could it be knocking at a time like this? Wondered the king. He was so curious that he went to the door himself to see who it could be. Let's see who that could be. Standing in the rain, soaked to the bone, stood a girl. Her hair was dripping and stringy, and her drenched clothes clung to her tiny frame. When she shifted her feet, water swished out of her shoes. She was certainly a sight to behold. "Pleased to meet you," she said to the king. "My name is Isabella, and I am a princess." The old king looked at Isabella, and Isabella looked at the king. "I see," he said. "Please come in from the storm." The king told the queen about Isabella's declaration, and any girl could claim to be a real princess, but was she really one for sure? "We'll see soon enough if the girl speaks the truth," thought the queen, but she said nothing. Isabella was shivering with cold from her sodden state. The queen showed her upstairs to a part of the castle where she could take a hot bath to warm up and change into some dry clothes. Isabella was so relieved. She had traveled far and was thankful that the king and queen were so kind. Oh, that is nice. Do y'all have a gender though? Meanwhile, The queen went to the bedroom. She looked like she got an agenda. Meanwhile, the queen went to the bedroom where Isabella was to sleep that night. She tripped the bed of its blankets and bed sheets and laid a single small pea on the bed boards. The queen placed the mattress on top of the pea. Then she piled another mattress on top of the first, followed by another, until there were 10 mattresses piled on top of the little pea. That should do it, thought the queen, and she left the room and closed the bedroom door. Isabella felt much better after her hot bath. When the queen arrived to show her to her room, she was surprised to see that the wet, straggly girl was in fact quite pretty. She even looked like a real princess. We'll see about that, the queen thought to herself. When Isabella entered the bedroom, she was astonished by the majestic bed before her. "This bed looks wonderful," she said excitedly. Isabella thanked the queen and bid her good night. "Sleep well, and we'll see you at breakfast," said the queen. Isabella stretched and yawned. She was anxious to get a good night's sleep. It had been a very long day. She hopped into bed and settled under the covers. As she snuggled in, she felt a lump under her back. Okay. That's funny, thought Isabella. This is a luxurious royal bed. She readjusted her pillow, shifted positions, and snuggled in deeper. There, that should do the trick, she decided. But Isabella could still feel the lump. "Well, this just won't do," she complained. She sat up in bed and rubbed her back. What in the world could it be? She wondered. Isabella lay down again and attempted to relax. But try as she might, she couldn't find the right spot or position and spent the night tossing and turning atop the most magnificent looking bed. Finally, in the early hours of the morning, she slept for a short time, only to wake with a terrible ache. That's why she put that pea there, huh, y'all? Even before she sat up, Isabella felt the pain. While it was mostly her back that had bothered her throughout the night, now she was sore all over. She winced with every moment. How was she going to climb down from such a height? With great difficulty, Isabella clambered out of the large bed. When she saw her reflection in the mirror, she was startled. Her hair was a frightful mess, and her eyes were droopy with fatigue. I'm in no state to go to breakfast like this, she thought. But Isabella knew she would have to join the king and queen for breakfast. She changed out of her nightgown and combed her hair. She still looked tired, but there was nothing she could do about it. She opened the bedroom door and went downstairs. Why that queen do that? When Isabella sat down to breakfast with the king and queen, the queen surveyed the tired-looking girl. "And how did you sleep last night?" she asked. Isabella was torn. She didn't want to tell the king and queen that she had a terrible sleepless night after all their kindness, but she also didn't want to lie. "I'm sorry to say, dear queen, that I didn't sleep very well at all," she said at last. "I lay all night on some hard thing, and now my whole body is black and blue." To Isabella's surprise, the queen smiled. "Only a real princess would feel the pea I placed under the 10 mattresses in your chamber last night," exclaimed the gleeful queen. "Nobody but a real princess is so delicate." Soon after, Isabella met the prince. To the prince's relief, Isabella was nothing like Penelope, Maud, Lobelia, or any of the other princesses he had met on his travels. In turn, Isabella thought that the prince was the most kind and handsome man she had ever met. The two quickly fell in love and were happily married soon after. As for the pea, it was placed on display in a museum. It's still there to this day, sitting on a red velvet pillow behind a glass case on a pedestal for all to see. All right, guys, that is the end of this book. Okay, I just want to be honest with you guys. I really don't like too much of this book. It's really odd, misogynistic, I guess. I don't know. That was really an odd book. Tell me what you guys think of it, because I am I didn't like how his mama put that under there, and then she smiled like this woman said she was black and blue. Like, I don't know. But y'all guys tell me what you think of this book. But, I mean, it was a nice story, so I liked it at the end of the day, kind of. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in to Big Mama Storytime live for the first time. Next time I will let you guys know. I won't just hop up on here. I will put out some type of notification that I'm going to do a live. All right, guys. So if you get to see this when I was live, good. But if not, that's still good. You're going to be able to see it later. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you all for tuning in, and I thank you all for being such wonderful subscribers and watching my videos. All right, guys, and the comments. I really enjoy them all because I read each and every last one of them. But I thank you all for all of your support with my page and everything, and still sticking with me without being on here for a minute because of my voice and everything. But I thank you guys so much. Bye.